Now this is really cool. When looking up Need for Speed Payback news for a little while, you may have noticed something called Street Leagues. Now Street Leagues is essentially, if you don't know, the little teams in Need for Speed Payback that we're probably going to be going against to progress in the game. They're little street leagues that have specific things they're good at. For example, drag racing or drifting or whatever, something like that. They have a speciality and you'll be facing through a lot of these events by these people, and then there's a boss of some kind. So it's pretty much like it used to be in Need for Speed Carbon, for example. You'd go through a lot of events and then there was like a region boss. Now, for example, instead of just doing a region, what they're doing is multiple groups and they each have their own speciality. So these will be good at drift, these will be good at off-road, and so on. As of me making this video, we've had 6 of them announced, starting with Riot Club, which is, well, drag tier 1, and then we have Graveyard Shift race tier 1, leading us on to race tier 2, the Silver 6, off-road tier 1, League 73, Noise Bomb, yeah, that's what we're paying attention to, race tier 3, the 1% Club. I like that their names are actually quite fitting, and obviously the elephant in the room, Noise Bomb. You know what that is. If you don't know what that is, it was in Need for Speed Pro Street. Now, they were the drift group in Need for Speed Pro Street. If you did drift events, well, you eventually tried to go against the boss. I didn't actually play Pro Street until recently, actually a couple of years ago when I did my Let's Play. That was the first time I properly played the game rather than just playing the demo and playing a very small bit of it at my mate's houses, that kind of thing. It's the first time I played it. So honestly, the characters to me, they're not massively like in my heart, but what I like about this is we've mentioned it now time and time again. Close to picking out little bits here and there from past Need for Speed games, from Most Wanted, Carbon, Hot Pursuit, whatever you think of as your favorite Need for Speed, something similar to that is going to be in this game. No matter what types of car you like, whether you like slow cars or hyper cars, these cars are available in the game. Now they're doing that with characters, it would seem. So there's obviously the 3 main characters that have been new introduced. We spoke about those in a previous Payback video, but this time we're getting to know about the not so big kind of main focused characters, but characters that are actually important to the story and, well, Street Leagues, which are returning characters from previous games. This means that Ghost's games are actually tied in. The whole universe is probably tied in some way or another. We now know that Pro Street is tied in with Payback, which is a cool connection to make. It's getting quite interesting, actually. Depends, in my mind, they could take this really far, or they could kind of scale it back and be very light-handed on this. If they went full in on this, they could pretty much go and pave the path for what the old story was, connecting Most Wanted to Carbon to then Pro Street and Undercover. Are there any connections between those? We don't necessarily know, and there was never anything said about it. But Ghost have the power to write that. Now, in a future game, they can have like a flashback or something like a background story, even a little line to snip them together in this game possibly, can link this game maybe to previous games. I'm excited to see what this is going to do. The boss's name in this is Aki Kurumur. The base of operations for Noise Bomb is Tokyo, Japan, but they're now traveling through Fortune Valley, and as you can imagine, they specialize in drifting. If you hadn't realized, honestly, they should have made Craig a character. But I like this. Does this mean we're going to see any more characters return in this game? Whether it's just little mentions, hints towards it. Like, for example, in GTA 5, there were hints at GTA 4's characters, including the Ballad of Gay Tony. I love little hints like that, even if it's just a small line, even if they're just mentioned. It lets you kind of, because your brain wanders for so long, and you're just like, oh, this is what happened to them. Anyway, so we actually have about 3 or 4 more Street Leagues left to be announced on the website. I'm looking forward to see if there's maybe any more connections to them. Maybe the one just went straight over my head and I'm just stupid, but I'm really liking the Street Leagues idea and the fact that they're bringing back all the characters. I don't want to make this video much longer than it needs to be, but you get my point on the subject. If you want to read more about each individual of the Street Leagues and get more details about the drag one and that sort of thing and how it's going to all work, make sure, my friends, to go check out the Need for Speed website link down below in the description. As for the Street Leagues idea itself, it's cool to have bosses back in the game and have little mini bosses. Even if we're not as bothered about the main career progression, we have these little tiers to go through. We're always kind of pushing forward rather than just being like, do a race, do a race, do a race, do a race. It's like, do a race, do a race. Oh, we're getting higher. Do a race, the boss man wants to come and kick your ass. But be sure to smash like if you want to see more Need for Speed Payback. Subscribe if you want to see everything Payback coming over the next few weeks, because the release is so close now. And I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time, guys, peace.